What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Uh, let's get this thing started off right. What's going on, Martinez Game Dogs, Larry B. Austin Jr., Vinny, what's going on? Larry B. Austin Jr., what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? A long week, man, long week. Does the audio sound good? I'm on a different Bluetooth headset. Somebody just give me a thumbs up that what you call the audio is good. Somebody shoot me a thumbs up. Let me know the audio is good. She, what's going on? Chase Manhattan, Hush Lights, Welcome Down Ram, Big Steppin'. How you doing, brother? Hope all is well. Salute to the y'all brothers podcast, man. I gotta get a little caught up. Shit been hectic. Audio's decent. Word, word. Y'all bear with me a quick second, just getting a little itinerary together. I am very busy, busy, busy man this coming year, man. I've been trying to pull moves to make this show rock for you guys and stuff as far as trying to be able to do the show coming back with a reasonable time. Me and my partners, we still got to get together. PBC is a busy man. Brown's Kennels is extremely busy man. So we all out here trying to make something happen. We doing the show every other week, but like I said, it's just hell trying to get everything situated. Get your job done, get home, take care of your animals, and then have a podcast lined up and shit. Do I sound muffled or what's going on? Somebody said I sound muffled. Mm, hold on real quick. Let me get my shit together. Do I sound a little bit better? Muffled? All right, hold on one quick second. Bear with me, y'all. Little technical difficulties. Let me grab a different Bluetooth headset. I got a couple I gotta get. I'll let y'all come up in the chat. Trent. All right. We back in the building. That sound a little bit better. I apologize for the technical difficulties. But as I was saying, just a little difficult trying to get a lot of stuff done short amount of time. The story of our life. But I hope all is well. Let me get everybody else in this chat. Where we going? Pull my stuff up real quick. If it ain't one thing, it's another. It's more shit down a little bit. All right. I'm back online. I think I got it. What's going on, Mr. Dennis?
Hey, what's going
Yeah,
on?
man. I appreciate you swinging through.
Oh yeah,
Shit, man. We trying to make $1 out of 50 cent, man. You know how I rock, man.
Shout out to
How you
everybody
do?
that's coming on. Shout out to everybody that's coming on. How y'all doing?
Man, we trying to make it, man. Trying to
Oh,
make it, Fred. Make sure you
oh,
got your. I don't know if your Bluetooth is going in and out. You may have to not wear it. I don't know if there's something going on with the system today or what.
no, I ain't got no thing on today. I was just saying, shout out to all the dog men and dog women.
Oh yeah. Shout out to IDT Kennels, M1, SBO Kennels, Richard James, Chase Manhattan, got Welcome Down Rag, Ram, Greg Kemp, Martinez Game Dogs, Robinson, Larry B. Austin, Bobby
Salute.
Dog, Jay Hemphill. I think we got everybody. Oh man. Well, it's been a hectic week for me, man. I've been trying to get dogs bred and work 60-hour weeks. I don't know, man. I don't know, Fred. It's taking a toll, brother. It's taking a toll.
Hey, it's a never ending story, brother.
Man. I don't know, Fred. You going a little bit in and out, man. You may need to get a little close to your Wi-Fi or something, man. I don't know. You kind of breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't no more than about 10 feet away from it.
Yeah, you know how it is when you're in the boonies. You know how the service is out here. It gets crazy.
Yeah.
It gets mad crazy, son.
Yeah.
But
I'm
shit,
right.
we got a little criteria and shit. Like I said, for everybody inquiring about that Maha to Ghostman breeding, I'm doing the breeding now. You know what I mean? I bred her yesterday and the day before. I'm gonna skip today, and I'm gonna try and catch her on Friday, and see how we rocking on Friday. You know, depending on how the vibes is with the dogs. Um, hopefully all goes well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of times you don't know till you get there.
Yeah, man. I ain't going. I was thinking to myself, I'm not gonna push the envelope because Maha is a real dog, aggressive dog, and when she had enough, she's had enough. So I ain't
Yeah.
trying to. And that paperboy dog, man, he's borderline a retard, man. That dude is just, I don't know, man. It's a lot going on. Shout out IDT Kennels. Shout out Larry B. Oh, I got Larry B. Shout out IDT Kennels. Got a dog woman in the chat. Appreciate your sister for coming through.
Salute.
But we wanted to cook up tonight. We ended our last podcast. What you call? We was brought up some topics from the last show that we wanted to cover on this show, and we wanted to kind of give a full segment on it instead of just trying to cram it in at the end of the last podcast. So let's cook up. I want to start with the commercial breeder versus the hobby breeder. Seems to be a lot of questions going on about the two. I think it's time we cook up on it. I'll break down a commercial breeder and a hobby breeder. breeder. A commercial breeder, that's like a full tilt, legit, serious business when you're dealing with commercial breeders. I would almost kind of classify just in the pit bull world, like Mr. Garner. He would be considered a commercial breeder. He will always have dogs available. He runs a full multi-million-dollar business in dogs. So he's in the business of supplying puppies to the public. So it's very rarely you're ever going to contact him and he's going to say, I don't have something available. He's always going to have something available. So commercial breeding is a full tilt business. Hobby breeders, on the other hand, is kind of where I've categorized myself because I just explained to you guys I have a whole HVAC career, and breeding is not my source of income right now in life. Nor do I'm not knocking anybody who is. When I retire, I may take it up to that kind of level to see, hey, if that's for me, but I doubt it because I don't like any. I like my dogs to be a stress-free kind of environment. When you run in a commercial type of business, is stressful. Any type of business is stressful to some level. So commercial breeder versus hobby breeder. And I've been getting a lot of questions because people inquire about dogs all the time. And, I'll tell them I don't have anything available. I haven't done anything yet, things of that nature. And, people kind of be like, well, what's the deal? And it's like, I'm not a commercial breeder. I'm nice enough to show the public what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And if I have something available, you saw the process and the steps that it took for me to get it. So you have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't have an official website or anything like that where you can just go and click on dogs, and I'm not on that level yet, nor do I really care to be at this point. You know what I mean? I think less is more when it comes to certain things in these dogs. So I consider myself a hobby breeder, but yet again, there's nothing wrong with commercial breeders because, like I say, it is a legit business because we kind of just classify these game dogs. There's commercial breeders that have several different breeds of dogs that they're breeding. They may be breeding Belgian Malinois, pit bulls, Rottweilers, whatever. That's a commercial business. So a lot of the young brothers who didn't seem to understand, what a commercial business is. There's licenses involved when you're running commercial businesses. When you're selling a certain amount of dogs, you have to go ahead and pay taxes on those dogs. It's a lot of things that go into commercial breeding. So people know the difference of the two. But you got any input on the commercial breeding and the hobby breeding, Fred? Or, I know you have a elaborate career in dogs. Where you stand at with it?
Well, if I was going to try to put a label on it, I don't reach the level of neither one. But
Ooh, I like that.
I don't. I just do breedings, and if somebody like what I did or whatever, hey, you're more than welcome. I'm not a stingy person when it comes to my dogs. Sometimes it's all according to what I did or what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with. Because a lot of times, you got people that don't like to share their animals, the things that they have, and that gets into a whole nother realm of dog breeding. So when you say hobby breeding, when you say commercial breeding, yeah, you got to look at it in a way that is a lot different. And then you got these breeders now that's popping up every day, and we would call those just uh, uh, internet type breeders now because they kind of like
Mm.
taking it to a level that we see today that they looking for the pretty pedigree, which I try to strive to have that also in my dogs, but at the same time, if I'm breeding the dogs and it's going left or going south, and it's got to have an outing and it's got something got to be done about it, you know, uh, you got to breed for better. So I don't reach the point of either one of those. I look at what I'm doing and try to make a better dog at 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 this point, you know. Uh, and I don't really try to breed for the public because the public don't have to feed the dogs at the end of the day. You know, these
Mm.
dogs that I got, so I wouldn't say it's for the public because one, if I do a breeding and the public don't like what I did, you know, hey, they'll let you know you're gonna have to eat that one, you know. But
That's a
so
big part of it.
hey, they'll let you know you're gonna have to eat that one because a lot of them, you know, if they call and say I want a pure boils dog, and all pure boils dogs, you know, some of them, if you get them from Ronald, that's one thing. But if I'm breeding one and I see something going south with it, and I don't like it myself, hey, I'm gonna change it. You know, just because it's a pure dog, that don't mean it's a good dog. You
Mm.
know, so you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm trying to make something that I like. So if I don't like it, you know, I'm not going to keep on breeding it
That's a
to
big
have
part of it. That's a big part of this thing.
I'm not going to keep breeding it just to have a pure dog. So when somebody calls, say, "Yeah, I got one with no outs in it." Okay, if you can breed it like that with no outs, you know, you got people out here that got
Fred,
some.
you going you Fred, you kind of go in it. Fred, you got Fred. Make sure you situate.
I'm right here by the
Fred,
thing.
Fred, make sure you go in a good spot because you
Hey,
kind of going in and out.
yeah, I see the light flashing, but you know, I'm right here. I see the light flashing on the what you call it thing, the blue light and stuff, but I'm right in front of it. You know, that's all I can do. I don't know. It might just be a bad day for that internet thing. But
Oh, you sounding clear now. I guess you're in a good spot, man. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sitting
but
right.
you brought up some good. You brought up Yeah, you brought up some good topics too for the young bulls. Though I try to drill this into people's head. It's real hard to start a breeding career and be successful on any kind of level doing it because it takes so much work and time that goes into the shit. For the young bulls, when you do this, don't expect to be getting paid because there's gonna be a lot of times. Me and Fred alluded to this where I'll get people that reach out to me and be like, man, um, when you're doing this, I want something off of that, and blah blah blah. And it's one of those things when I gotta answer them like I'm gonna do it when I get around to it, and I need something off of it. You know what I mean? When you start falling into a gap with these dogs, and you find yourself breeding for what people want, make sure that's legit because 9 times out of 10 it's not legit. People will sit there and tell you a million things that they want, but when you do it and you have the product, they're nowhere to be seen. So now you're sitting here stuck with a litter of pups that you really wasn't too enthusiastic about doing the breeding, but you were chasing some bread. You know what I mean? And chasing bread and dogs, or I'm gonna just not even use street term. Chasing money and dogs can get you hurt real bad. It could ruin your yard. It could ruin your career. It could ruin your life. Because at no point in these damn dogs, like we constantly tell you, it's not like you sell a puppy and then your dogs be like, oh, we good. We ain't got to eat for a week now. So these dogs always going to have to eat. They always going to have medical. They always going to have these things. And having a litter of dogs is no joke. If you had 4 dogs and then you got 5 puppies, that's 9 dogs right off the rip. And in your mind, you thinking I'm just gonna get up on in the social media and sling them. It don't work like that, man. It really don't. I mean, your clientele and people and your reputation is going to be a huge thing. So I always give advice as far as try to go out here and do something with your dogs. Get your dogs in the light where people want them, and then you could kind of play that game. But when you just coming into the kitchen, ain't nobody gonna be knocking your door down for your dogs. I mean, it's just the honest reality of the situation. When I started out in dogs, I did breedings that I wanted, but I wasn't getting no wave of people wanting them dogs. It was something that I was into. As my dogs became popular and I started working dogs, showing the dogs and all type of things, that's when it was kind of like an energy that people wanted dogs from me. And then I could possibly rehome a dog if I wanted to. But even with that, it's few far and in between when you first coming in the door. So I would advise you young brothers, start off with your dogs and put the work in with them dogs and get them to the point where people will see them and say, "Hey, I want something off of that dog right there." You know what I mean? That's just free advice to you because it gets into a nasty little place when you're sitting there and you could really only afford to feed the dogs you had, and now you're sitting there with a litter of puppies, and then 1 month go by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by, 4 months go by. Now the pressure's on because now they're eating you out of house and home because you could only really afford to keep the 3 or 4 dogs you had, and now you just added 5 extra mouths, and ain't nobody trying to grab them off you. And then what you end up start doing is you start cutting your prices, and now you're just trying to get rid of them. And now it's a situation where you don't even really know what you're getting rid of. You feel what I'm saying? So please be careful with chasing that commercial breeding, because a lot of commercial breeders and things that I know of that nature, they deal in different breeds of dogs, and it's different money in different breeds of dogs. I'll just tell you like that. You know, some of these Belgian Malinois, those are $7,000, $10,000 dogs. People are getting them imported. Good Rottweilers, those 6, 7, $5,000 dogs. So they're getting their return back on it. You know, as far as game dogs go, the price has been kind of skewed over the years on what these dogs go for and what people should be charging. I've heard several debates and arguments about what's too much, what's too low. You know, we're going to also discuss that too. But these are things you need to be cognizant of. Hey, Fred.
Yeah, yeah.
You sounding clear. All right. All right. I'm just making sure
But,
you was
but
good and shit.
it was still going up and down when you was talking, man. I don't know what the deal is. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
going
that little that's your microphone when you talk. That ain't nothing that got nothing to do with your phone and stuff. You sound clear as a whistle. You just had to get in the right little spot. You just like
Oh,
me, and they've been putting lines and shit out here. So sometimes my shit be acting
yeah,
sketchy. I saw them working down the road
yeah. They putting
earlier this week and shit.
putting that fiber out everywhere, man. Yeah, they putting that
Yeah, they
fiber
got
out.
to, man. People that live in the sticks need service, and you be paying all of this money for shit, and it don't be working. You know what I mean? I mean, they need to refund me some money because my service was horrible for about almost a year before they started running them lines and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I can
I
believe
can,
it. Yeah, but
but I was just cooking up on being stuck with the puppies like you mentioned and what happens. You know, your input on getting stuck with litters of puppies fucking
what?
with. Oh man, if you do that breeding, I'm grabbing that. I'm grabbing that. If you do this shit, I'm getting that and getting that, and then the puppies be there, and the motherfucking soul won't be around.
Man, it's easy. It's easy to get hyped up with these dogs and thinking that everybody is gonna do well in these dogs. But I noticed since I've been into the dogs and stuff that you know it's just like the weather. I mean, you're gonna have a hot season, you have a mild season, and you're gonna have a cold season. So there's levels of, just like the weather. And a lot of guys they get into these dogs and they get on that, on that high about doing this and doing that, and they get excited. But when things ain't going their way and they get on that downside, you see them have that fight or flight thing going on. They jump the
Mm.
wall. They be ready to jump the wall in a hot second. See, but like with me, I take for myself, in the dogs. I set a pace years ago, a pace that I set. I've been keeping my pace. I've been keeping my pace. I ain't speeding up for nobody, and I ain't slowing down for nobody. Even uh, with my family and my wife and stuff like that. You know, I talk to her and stuff, and it's time to slow down on some of the things I've been doing because I'm in a different mindset now of what's going on in my life. So I got to change with the times, with the signs of the time. Signs of the time showing you a whole lot with these dogs. A lot of people say, well, oh, he might not can feed his dogs or whatever. But the thing is, a whole lot of people having trouble feeding dogs now. A whole lot of people having trouble getting medication and stuff. Dog collars went from $5 to $12 a dog collar. Now, what did the dog collar do? It got better? No, it's the same dog collar, brother. I don't understand it. But that's just the price of everything
Yeah.
that has to do with these dogs. I don't care what you call out, everything is more expensive. So if you have over 10 dogs, you got a great expense. A great expense. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
reality of it. And if you have 5 dogs and you start out with 5 dogs, you start doing 2 or 3 breedings. You know, them dogs have 7, 8 puppies apiece. They be little puppies at the beginning, but they grow to be grown dogs. A lot of people don't look at that. Them little puppies grow to be grown dogs. And if you get stuck with those dogs, you got to be stuck with feeding them dogs.
Oh yeah. And they don't take no days. They don't take no days off with it. They cost money every day, every day. I try to preach this to the young brothers because I get so many emails for the podcast and questions to ask you and Brown when he get on. It, I try to tell these brothers, bro, I do this off the muscle, like, and it's always been that way with these dogs with me, and that's always how I approached it. What I do for a living allows me to have these dogs. I like I have a career. I'm not working at Hardee's and Applebee's trying to take care
But
of a yard of dogs.
but you know
What I
what?
do for a living allows me to do that.
Even that allowing you to do that, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, but you still wouldn't want to take a great hit on some dogs the way we've been taking hits on these dogs lately. And then you got people that want to still act like we back in the darn early '90s. You know, they calling about $400 and $500 dogs. They want a $600 dog. I wonder where they do that at now. I mean, really, I be in my feelings. You called me about $600 for a dog.
Man, shit. That kind of leads into this next little cook up we had going on and shit. The prices on the dogs. Yeah, we have hooked up on this yet. The prices on the dogs. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If you contact me, I send out my criteria for a new owner of one of my dogs. It's the email. I say bang the email because I used to have the business line. I kind of linked it to the heating and air phone and stuff, but it was just too much nonsense and too many phone calls. It was just jumping 24/7. So I was like, man, let me just go ahead. And I mean, jumping 24/7, not as all of these people were trying to buy dogs. A lot of these people just like to talk and shit and, hold conversation with you. And sometimes you're just not physically able to be in a position to just talk on the phone randomly to somebody you don't know for 30, 45 minutes about really nothing. You know what I mean? They're not really interested in purchasing anything. They just want to talk dogs. But them approaching you like they want something is supposed to entice you to engage conversation with them and shit. So I years ago I went to just the email. If I send it you, if I have something that I'm willing to go to the public, because Fred talked about stingy people, I'm one of them. I'm a stingy motherfucker. I breed my dogs for what I want. When I breed my dogs, I keep dogs off of every litter. That's what I'm looking for. I want something off of this. That's why I'm doing this fucking breeding. I get a check every week. So it's like I get paid. I want these dogs on my yard for my program for my future. And when we talking about pricing, this is a touchy situation. And I'm gonna preference my comments just like this prior. If you do sell your dogs for $400, $500, $250, that's you. That it is no set price in dogs that, but I'm just that's your personal preference on what you selling. That's up to you. But what you decide to fucking do is not the fucking law for everybody else. And I hope this reaches out to a lot of people when we talk about prices and dogs. You know, a lot of $200 dogs, a lot of $500 dogs, a lot of $1,000 dogs, a lot of $1,500 dogs, a lot of $2,000 dogs, a lot of $2,500 dogs, and so on and so on and so on. But whatever one person does is not the G code for everybody else in dogs. I saw the price increase years ago, the inflation on everything. I remember you could go to the feed store with about $200, and your dogs had you had food for your dogs, fly spray, all that was a $200 party. In 2023, this is about a $475 party. It's doubled, and the prices in these dogs have quadrupled. Because people who really take care of these dogs have good product, sound animals, working animals with correct documentation. I got dogs on the yard that I purchased from another breeder, DNA profiled, all of this shit. This shit costs money. So if you were $500 motherfucker, because I talked to some of the old heads and I know how it was back then because they're relating to back then when they was in dogs. Like, oh, that dog was. I used to get shit off a Jeep for $400-$500. Yeah, but imagine what that shit would be now. If those were the same circumstances, you know, this shit ain't cheap. This shit ain't cheap.
You got now we got so many people that's into the dogs, and we ain't just talk about internet and stuff like that. So it's just like back in the day in the 80s and 90s, and the rappers didn't used to get that much money for rapping, but look at the people that rap now. They getting the money. They getting to the bag. Now, just like basketball players, they didn't used to make that type of money. Look at what kind of money they making now. Now, if we look at these dog men that been in the dogs for so long, if we was a great community like we say we are, somebody would be already had their foot in the door for the dog food. Somebody else would already have their foot in the door for dog collars. And us as dog men would already have the connect to tell everybody else who to shop with. And that's how you get other people to come up in these dogs. But you know what? I'll put it like this. I'm that type of guy that I don't mind sharing with other people. I understand where you coming from. But I know that ain't only get you over the hump. That's what my daddy used to call me. Tell me it's getting over the hump. You can do one thing, but if you have 10 other guys doing something with you, you're going to be a more powerful situation. So I look at it like this. If somebody in the community knows more about the dog food and more about the medication, and they want to put their partner on, put their partner on. It's just like with me. I know different guys that have different bloodlines and different dogs and stuff like that. Because I'm Pitbull City. Everybody in my hood, everybody surrounding me, they've been calling me
Hey,
for
Fred,
years. Yeah,
Fred,
yeah,
you going out in and out real bad. What I want you to do is just
yeah.
exit out the studio and let me click you back in. The same way you enter the studio, let me resync you back in because I don't know what's going on
How about now?
with the audio. Yeah, you sound. I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, what I was saying is a lot of people that I know, I can reach out to folk when they need something, and people that they cannot get in contact with. And so a lot of times when I do reach out to other people, just like, people wanted to get in touch with you to buy something. And I reach out to you and say, well, Thompson, such and so want to get some dogs from me. And then you hook up with them and y'all do business or whatever. And a lot of times back in the day, people would throw you something back on the back end. But you got people now that's so selfish and so self-centered. Even if they make money, you know what I'm saying? I mean, make good money. We talking about them $4,000 and $5,000. Hey, they won't even give you a couple $100 to get bags of dog food. You feel me? That's just how selfish people
That's
are.
crazy. You say that shit. Yeah, as a community, we gotta like I was saying this about 14, 13 years ago. Like as a community with these dogs, we'd be so busy trying to attack each other instead of trying to promote that we have the greatest breed of dog in the world. It's always it's a lot just everything's cutthroat and I'm not going to say just in the pit bull community because I know a lot of people in different other communities of dogs and it's the same thing and I guess it may be that kumbaya I may be singing that kumbaya song and shit hoping that everybody could get on the same page because I don't sell my dogs cheap. I haven't sold my dogs cheap in a long time. And the reason for that is the inflation in prices, the amount of work that I put in with my animals, the amount of money it costs me to maintain and take care of these animals. And I enjoy my dogs. So when somebody wants to acquire something from me, it's like you gotta meet a certain criteria. I don't want to see my dogs in no fucked up situations. The questions I ask is just legit shit. Are you stable in life? You talking about an animal that can live the oldest dog I ever had was Beast, and he was going on 14 years old when he passed away. So you talking about a healthy, strong animal that could possibly be fuck all this box shit and all this other stuff. I'm just talking about dogs in general. We just talking about a fucking purebred companion animal that can live to be 13 years old, probably a good spectrum of your child's life will be involved with this dog. This shit, you $300, $500. What the fuck are we talking about? You get what I'm saying? And I mean that's just across the board with anybody breeding purebred animals correctly. This shit costs money, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the $400-$500 shit is over with. Yeah, some people may do it. I'm not knocking them. More power to you. But that party been over for me. I seen that movie start and end, and understand the type of business certain people are doing. Because if I'm mass producing dogs, where I got 40, 50 litters per year, and I'm running dogs, I can sell dogs for cheap because I have so many of them. It's certain levels to this thing when you're dealing with certain people. Now, if I'm constantly having litters of puppies, I can put a $600 price tag on it because like Fred said, you breed 3 bitches, you end up with 21 dogs, and they have 7 puppies apiece. That's 21 dogs right there that they're selling. So they can come down on the price with that because they have so many available, and they're still making their money on the back end. Now, a person like me, I may do 1 breeding, 2 breedings a year, and I can count on one hand how many times I had 7 puppies. I end up with 4, 3. You know what I mean? It's like that would be retarded for you to do if you're in that lane. You know what I mean? But the time that you have when you got less dogs and you having time to know what you're breeding, see the traits and tendencies in your animal, put them together, you can have consistency what you selling somebody, man, that shit costs money. I mean, just the long short version of it, it costs money. I be having tired of having conversations and with motherfuckers and people talking about what they think they should pay for something. And I always use the same analogy. You can't walk your fucking ass in Walmart and tell them, man, that shit should be $2, man. That shit shouldn't be $7. That should be $2. You grab the milk off the shelf, walk to the cash register, she ring it up. Oh, it's $7.87. I mean, it should be $2. You know how they're gonna look at you? Like a fucking idiot. And then they're gonna ask you, could you please get off the line? I have to serve the next customer. And then they'll get security to escort your ass up out of there. That's the same way I approach the situation. I don't care what people think they should pay or think. It's not about what you think and what you want. You're reaching out to me to acquire something, or any breeder. You took it upon yourself to contact somebody, and then you tried to finesse them out of their product for less money. And then what a lot of your punk asses do is y'all do that and then turn around, get the product, and then y'all do some readings and charge more than what you paid for it.
And that's for real.
So that, I mean, that's just really the totality of this whole damn thing too. When we talk about these prices with dogs,
really,
you know,
really it ain't no good till they do the breed. I mean,
hold on, I got Brown checking in.
Yeah, it's no good until they get the dog.
Yeah, man, that Brown, what up? You in the chat? I mean, you can hear us? You good?
Yeah, son, I'm good.
What's up, bro?
Yeah,
Brown?
man.
What's going on, son?
It's real. I hear it in your voice. You sounding like I was sounding last week and shit.
It is a 24 hours. 24 hours, bro. 24 hours.
Yeah,
holding it on you. I know.
But
yeah.
But getting back into what you.
But Fred was alluding to, we was cooking up on these damn prices and dogs and shit, and why is it so much drama and so much arguing and people trying to dictate what other people's dogs should go for? I mean, really, some of you people in general, you got to really sit down and do some self-evaluating. How entitled must you fucking feel to tell somebody else what their hard work is worth? Let's be honest.
Not only that, you look at the business that they try to bring to the table. You know, I like you said, you're a businessman. I'm business minded, and I look at it like this: if you can't do good business, you're not gonna be dealing with me for long, because I'm gonna cut you. It's just like going on a job, and you go on a job, and a lot of people don't like to work, and you know you got people out here that getting these jobs that shouldn't even be in nobody's kitchen cooking your food at McDonald's, but they got back there cooking and playing around. And you know what? If I was supervisor, somebody would be going home. You know, it's just like that with the dogs. Mm-hmm. You got people running, they're jumping in these dogs and thinking they're going to have a come up like Thompson. And then you got jokers that think, well, ain't you jealous of Thompson? Why would I be jealous of Thompson? Thompson is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I love to see him shoot for the moon and get like he get. But the thing is, I gotta hold my own on what I got in my hands. If you can hold what you got in your hands, you'll be all right. Don't worry about what the next man got. Don't worry about what the next man.
I think that's a huge part of it. A lot of people are worrying about what somebody else is getting. And I tell the young brothers all the time in these dogs, not even just with prices, but in general with the dogs themselves. If you got enough energy to be sitting there worrying or thinking about or wondering about what somebody else got going on, you ain't on your job with these dogs. Because there ain't never been a day that I sat there and fixated on what somebody else been getting. I don't have time to. I mean, let's break down the hours that's put into these dogs. And I'm pulling crazy hours. I had to put my daughter on the payroll. So I'm paying her and for the dogs. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those type of situations. It's a great job for her to have so she can get acclimated with work and how things is in the real world, and you're going to provide a job and I'm going to pay you for it. And I expect the job to be done a certain way. And she's been with me since a little baby. She's always been around them dogs. So she spent her whole life watching me take care of dogs and running around in the backyard. And I taught her how to do it. So she's equipped to do it on a high level.
Shout out to your daughter.
Oh, this is real. This is real.
Hey, my granddaughter, when I was going through with my eyes, my granddaughter got out there. My wife, my daughter now. Hey, them women will get their hands dirty sometime before the boys will.
Man, it's real. Brown, what's your input? What's your input on the prices in dogs and all of the crying about what somebody else is selling their dogs for, and the normal bullshit that we gotta hear in the community? What's your input on it?
Yo, you laughing like I'm gonna say some crazy shit. Yo, at the end of the day, it's like whatever. I mean, how can I put this, yo? A lot of people, if you're in a certain budget class, then you should shop around. You feel me? Let's be grown about it. If you selling something like, for instance, myself, I'm not about to let you get something that I know that's valuable for your price. That's like me working for you. I don't work for you. You know what I mean? And if it's business, and like I said, if you're in a certain budget frame or whatever you're looking for, that's you. I'm not trying to. I'll keep my dog before I give it to you. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do all that, yo, because what I got is quality. Yeah, I don't do quantity. It's quality over here, and it's always been like that. I don't got time. Some people get on the phone and tell you their whole life story. Sound like they coming up with a whole damn, I don't know what the hell you call it, man. These niggas be having stories for days, and that's cool and all. I'm not trying to knock nobody. I can understand everybody and where they come from. But if you don't want to pay for what you want, go get a lemon. You know what I mean? Go get a lemon. And I'm not trying to say somebody else won't sell you a lemon. It might just be what you like. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to put you, I'm not trying to start you off on goddamn letter P, and if you ain't even ready for A yet, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to put fire in your hand if you can't handle it, yo. Or you wanna pay a cheap
Yeah, that's
dollar.
a big part.
I don't got time for that, man. And as far as the number, my price is my price. You know what I mean? I don't knock nobody for their price. Your price is your price. His price is his price. I don't care, yo. You know what I mean? That's, you put your hard work into what you do. You know what I mean? I done been on your yard. Your yard. I've been on everybody's yard. You know what I mean? Your yard, man, that shit costs. You know what I mean? For a yard, it costs. My yard, it costs. You know what I mean? It costs to feed them. It costs the maintenance. So I don't got time for, for what you think you want and what you right now. I don't got time for that, son. That should be personal with me, bro. Like, come on, man. You go pay another person 25.
Yeah, man. It's a sign of disrespect.
Straight up. You paying a person 3,500.
Yeah, man. That's the key.
It's crazy. It's crazy, son. I don't got time for that,
man.
You know what I mean? If you want to go shop, go do you. You know what I mean?
I be trying to tell people these dogs ain't no used car dealership. At least that's not how it run over here. Because if I set a price for a certain litter of dogs, that's the price they going for. If I let one of them dogs go to the public, it's locked in for everybody on that litter. You gonna pay. You gonna pay with the next person. Because Miss Winchester told me that shit. when I was talking to her about how she run her business. She said she sets a price on the litter, and that's what it is. Because it's not fair to somebody else who paid the original price for you, then for some hobo Joe to get on the phone and try to talk you down a couple of $100. It's not fair. You know what I mean? You got to think business wise and ethics on certain shit. Because when these people link up and just say two people purchased a dog from you off the same litter, and then lo and behold, it turned out that they paid two different prices, that shit kind of go on your name all the way. So set a standard and stick to it. And if you can't stick to it, don't be doing no fucking breedings. I mean, breeding is a big thing. I know it seems like an attractive thing, and you know, people, these ain't bullies and exotic dogs and shit like that. I could just sell you any fucked up type of thing and put a $10,000 price tag on it and somebody gonna get it. A lot of people who's interested in these dogs, they usually come in the door with a decent amount of knowledge in these dogs, and you know they know what certain ranges and certain shit is from. You know what I mean? It's a lot that goes into it, and we talked about this earlier for the young brothers. Don't rush to be doing these breedings, because when them dogs don't sell, you got to take care of them. And just like Brown alluded to, he will keep his dogs before he lets somebody talk him off his pivot with his animals. And you need to be in a position as the young brothers, when you do these breedings, don't be sitting there doing 2, 3, 4 breedings and shit. Do your one breeding, and when you do a breeding, be prepared to say, I'm gonna feed 5 of these motherfuckers. I'm gonna feed 3, 4 of these I'm gonna feed when the phone is not ringing. I'm gonna feed these dogs. If you don't have enough passion about the breeding you put together, don't do it. If you're not gonna feed them, or it's gonna be pressure on you, don't do it. It ain't worth the headache. It ain't worth the money. It ain't worth the time.
Yeah. Yo, son, I mean, like, why you breeding for if you're just breeding? You know what I mean? That's why I say it's a difference between quality and quantity. You know what I mean? It's a difference between, breeding a dog, or it goes further than that. Choosing the parents to breed, to see what's going to come out these, I mean, what you're going to produce. It's deep. It's not about mass producing dogs. That's why a lot of bullshit get caught up behind these dogs. You know what I mean? Because it's a mass producing thing. You get 2 dogs, you breed the shit out of them. You know what I mean? For what? And when you can't even take care of 2 or 3 or 4, I mean, you know what I mean? Or you don't got nobody. I mean, don't breed the dog. Me and the partner was.
Man, just like, deworming the little puppies is a couple $100.
Man, it's wild, because you get into
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. You was talking about you and your partner.
Yeah, you get into a phase, right? Me and my partner's talking. You get into a phase of whatever that person sold you, far as wherever he's at with the dog, and you get the dog and you breed the dog. Now you're breeding the genetics out that's literally in these dogs. You know what I mean? Because it's called watering down.
Man,
you're just breeding. You feel me? You're not breeding for standards, confirmation, whatever you might be breeding for. You're breeding it out instead of keeping it where it should be. But then you want to buy a dog for cheap.
That's a big thing.
Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, go buy a dog for cheap from a mass producer breeder. And wait.
Yeah, man. It's a thing with these dogs, and like I said, man, you got to gravitate towards the group of people that's doing what you enjoy doing with your animals, man. You gotta get to that point in these dogs, because over the years I breed dogs, but you see these motherfucking dogs grow up, mature. You see them work. You see a lot of their traits and tendencies, and then you see them later on down the road get incorporated back into the program because it was a personal reason why they was created. I created these dogs to get these traits to keep my program going. That's why when people be like, "Oh man, you pick what you damn right." I pick what I want off my breedings because I'm trying to pick the best representation of my yard in them dogs so I can put it back into my yard of dogs. That's why I'm doing the breeding, to keep shit going, to lock traits in. As Fred alluded to, enhance, make a better dog. That's my focus. Whoever I'm not using and does not equate to what I'm trying to do, I can let them go to the public. But I'm gonna pick what I need. Just imagine if you broke this down to how much these dogs cost, and then what you would get paid hourly taking care of them. You know, because we talk about what we kick out on dogs, but what's your time worth? That's a big question.
Wow.
What is your time worth?
Can I get paid?
I search for time.
Can I get paid for that?
I search for it. Like,
hey,
for me to fix air conditioners, my time is a lot of fucking money.
Hey, you get paid. Hey, and it ain't cheap. Hey, if somebody go and get their car fixed, they're gonna tell you what, $5,000 for that transmission or whatever. But it's gonna be another $4,000 for the man time to put it in now. They
hey, yo, then you go and holler at the man.
That labor ain't no joke.
Yo, they ready to go and holler at the man that leave bolts out.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
They ready to go holler at the man that leave the screws out and the bolts out. And they come back and again about another month. So. It's all good though.
man, shit. And like I said, I done received bad dogs from people and paid good money for them. And go to get the dog, and the dog got fleas, worms, all types of shit. Like, what the fuck? Man, come on, man. Y'all better appreciate a healthy dog.
It all comes back to doing good business, man. If you get in a group of guys that stabbing each other in the back, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because you got that too. I mean, all of them stabbing each other. I mean, that would make you get out of dogs, you know what I'm
Everybody trying to cut each other's throat.
Hey, that would make you get out of dogs.
Man, shit. That'd be the story. That'd be the story for a lot of people who retired out of dogs. They just got tired of dealing with the bullshit, man.
Man, that's why people get out of dogs. And then you have to think about this. You got some guys that been in these dogs for a long time, and they still don't get the respect that they deserve, you know. So hey, even the ones that been in for a long time, you got people running their name through the mud.
Right. It's
a real party. So I hope that advice for the young brothers set in, man. Don't let nobody dictate your market. And you know, like I said, don't create a monster that you can't feed. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane. You know, I don't know how business savvy a lot of people are or how they keep track of their records financially. But if you own dogs and you're planning on doing breeding, write down monthly what you spend on your dogs. And then factor in a litter of puppies. Fucking 5-way shots is down near $20, $23 a pop. You got to give them sets of them shits. Then you got to do your deworming. If you use it for Benzodol, that shit is damn near $175, $185 for 1,000 milliliter bottle. Then you got to factor in your Albon. Then you got to factor in, if those dogs staying on your yard, the rabies shots. Nonetheless, the feed and puppies, you got to feed them a certain kind of way. You can't be out here dropping a couple pellets for puppies. Puppies got to be fat and healthy, or they get sick and die. So, factor in your bills with your dogs, man. Factor in the bills and know what you're getting into. Because, like I said, it's very rare. Because I know people that acquired dogs from big name dogs, acquired dogs from them and thought they was going to do a couple of breedings and get a bunch of money, and that ain't what happened. The scenario is the same person you purchased them dogs from is still breeding dogs. So now the real question is, why should they come to you when they can go to the source? And you got to think about that. So have it in your mind, young brothers, lay your business down. If you want to do business correctly, man, know what you're dealing with and know what you can afford and know what you can take and what you can't take. You know what I mean? Dirty Glove Kennels in the house. Dirty Glove Kennels, Ben Brockton. AQ Henry's Kennels in the house. Jay in the house. Supreme Excellence, respect. Mr. 40 Pitts in the house. I'm trying to catch these chats. M1 in the house.
Salute to the chat.
Reckless 4. Yeah, man, I appreciate Gas and Go Kennels. What's going on, my brother? You got some good dogs. Check them out, man. That's a good brother. That's a good brother there. I think I caught Soul Power, aka Game Kennels. Vernon Starr. What's going on?
Salute.
Shit. Since we talking about these puppies and shit now, let's kind of get into the young brothers. Cause I had this situation and another dog man was talking to me about it, and I kind of brought it up in the last episode and shit. How did I word this when I wrote this down? Yeah. Questions you should and shouldn't ask a breeder when acquiring about a puppy. The tone in the conversation, I'm gonna open this shit up. The tone in the conversation that's been transpiring. You young brothers, you gotta understand something. You can't get on the phone with people you don't know and ask dumbass questions that's reckless and think that's how you can't do it. If you are acquiring in the pit bull community, you kind of can gauge what people got going on if it does get to a point where you talk to them on the phone and stuff. And some of the rhetoric y'all bulls be using on the phone kind of make a person think that you're trying to set them the fuck up. Dogfighting is illegal in 2023. Some of these, everybody's on the internet. We got the OGs with their podcasts. We got the young coming bulls. We got a lot of people putting a lot of great information out there. And some of this information needs to be taken into context as far as when you start with the proving and what's this and who's that. That's none of your fucking business. That conversation should not be held on no goddamn phone when you acquiring about a puppy. I'm just being honest with you. In 2023, talking reckless on the phone can get you hemmed the fuck up. A lot of dogmen who had a lot of legal situations, especially recently, over I want to say the last 10 years. And you hear people say, "Oh, they got such and such, and he take care of his dogs, and he do what he's supposed to do." And it's the reason they got hemmed up is because talking reckless on the phone with people you don't know. I mean, very seriously, you gotta think about what comes out your mouth and how it could be perceived, because what happens is you're advertising your dogs. You're putting your information out there. Contact me. I got this for sale. I got that for sale. Blah, blah, blah. How hard is it for a police officer or agent to sit here and listen to all of these podcast series, pick up the lingo, and then get on the phone with you and start talking, and now you done incriminated yourself, and the whole conversation been recorded. I would put it in the lines of this for you guys. Don't say shit on the phone that if you were sitting in a courtroom and it got played in the courtroom, you would drop your head and say, oh shit. I can't make that any more clearer for you guys. I know dog men that straight hang up the phone. They will hang up the phone on you if you get up there and start talking crazy. So young bulls, young brothers, please watch what you say on these fucking phones. Anybody else got some input on that?
I believe you said it all. But the thing is,
Yeah,
hey,
you said a
you said,
mouthful, son.
hey, you put it together real good because, you know, I'm on this podcast because I enjoy putting out good information, and I'm not going to be involved in, something that's going to be looked at as incriminating and trying to put myself in no bad situation because of these dogs. These dogs are not going to be the death of me. No, I can't see that. I enjoy breeding dogs. I enjoy breeding dogs. I enjoy uh, these dogs that I've been having and things of that sort. But it's not to that end that I want to see uh, uh, police officers or FBI. But I know guys that went down that road, and I know guys that's still doing time now. I know a lot of them, but that ain't for me. And you got these young guys that think, well, I got that Superman S on my chest, and they not gonna bring me down. But they might not bring you down, but you might leave a trail of destruction behind you. So just be careful, man, how you do things. And I mean, if you got a big mouth, sit down somewhere.
Yeah, the rowdy Piper shit on the phone, and some of y'all are so loose with it. I ain't meaning to drill this in, but y'all are so loose with it. You just, for example, you don't know me from a fucking hole in the wall. You get on the phone with me. Oh yeah, I want such and such. And you start a whole illegal conversation on the phone. Why the fuck would I want to deal with you? You don't know me from a hole in the wall. So even if I was living that lifestyle, which I am not, but even if I was living that lifestyle, you just indicated you the last person I should be dealing with. That's a big thing. And this is why a lot of people don't deal with a lot of people. Fred alluded to this. Oh, certain people can't get in contact with me because I don't make myself accessible to everybody. Because you don't really want to be accessible to everybody. And sometimes you gotta play game. You play the game that way, man. Like I said, that talking crazy on the phone shit, man. Y'all really got to stop that shit, man. Just stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Not in the social media age, because now shit, other people can record other people on your phone. You can hit a button and record a whole conversation and shit. Like, you know what I mean? This is like not the time to be doing anything like that on no goddamn phones, man. I mean, it's so bad. And I've seen so many good dog men get hemmed up behind that type of shit right there. It wasn't because of the care of their dogs. It wasn't because of how they dogs was housed or left. It was because of them goddamn phone conversations. Talking crazy. Talking crazy. So please be aware of that shit. Brown, you got anything you want to cook in on that?
Hey yo, that talking crazy shit. Yeah, that's a serious issue, son. I mean, I don't even really want to talk on that shit, yo, because I don't even try to get in there. Yo, for real, man, because I don't indulge in them type of conversations. You know what I mean? Like somebody call you a random stranger, and first thing they talk about is, this, that, you know, what what's doing this, and nah, bro, I don't know nothing that's doing nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing. Like I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? Like for real. You know, and a lot of people get caught up because, like you said, people will record you. You know what I mean? And especially if they on some cop shit, like. But at the end of the day, it's not that serious if it's we all grown men. You know what I mean? We all grown men. Yo,
I don't know, bro. You going out?
goddamn highway and speeding traffic. Because that's how it is in this dog shit right now. Especially with with these pit bulls. So I'm not even I seen that shit went on, bro. And it shocked me the way it went on. You know what I mean?
Shocking.
The shit literally it shocked the fuck out me, yo. You know what I mean? Real shit, bro. And it wasn't even about it was more just a personal situation. You know what I mean? Which at the end of the day, it's all respect, because like I said, we all grown men. You know what I mean? Little boys get on the phone and talk X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Shit. Like I said, I'll keep my damn dog before I get on the phone and talk to you about this. I got shit to talk about. You know what I mean? Because half of the time, you're dealing with people that ain't, you done had so many lemons come through that, yeah, I want to buy a dog and shit. Yeah, I'm a Western Union. Come on, man. The fuck, man? I'm used to this shit. It ain't even about selling the dog. I keep my shit. That's why I don't breed like that. You know what I mean? That's why
I want to piggyback on that shit. I want to piggyback on that shit that you just said, because this whole conversation ties, each one of these topics we were talking about ties into each other. And this is what happens to a lot of you young bulls. And I'm going to tell y'all the story. Y'all in a situation where y'all done bred these dogs now, and you under pressure because you can't feed them. Now, any phone call that comes through, you will say anything to try to get one of these dogs off because your ass is under pressure. And that's the demise of a lot of you guys. That's why when we was talking about don't do breedings if you can't afford it, if you don't have the space for the dogs, don't do it. Wait. They got a long life expectancy, a lot of these dogs, if you know how to keep them alive. Wait till it's your time to shine. But when your ass is under pressure and you desperate, and now you get the dog for $500. Yeah, the mom did this. Yeah, the dad did this, and I did this with her, and this and that, and blah blah blah. And the father came on such and such, and he did this, and he did that. Look at what the fuck you done said. Look what you're doing.
Yeah, because you're trying to make friends. You know what I mean?
Trying to make friends and trying to make some money. Trying to make some money. Because you can't afford what you're doing. So now you willing to say and do anything to get some of these dogs off your yard. Brothers, if it get to that damn point, go back to the drawing board, man. Go back to the drawing board. Because I done seen everybody. I done seen these young. I'm gonna say this last part, and you piggy. I'm gonna say this last part, and you piggyback up. I done seen y'all. I done seen a lot of y'all young bulls damn near roll dogs on camera to sell some fucking puppies. Anything short of just rolling dogs on camera so you can get some puppies off. I done seen this shit live on the internet. Y'all are getting to that point with shit in these dogs, and y'all hurting everybody. But Fred, throw your 2 cents in.
That's all I got is two more cents worth. And I'm gonna tell you, that's been going on since I got into dogs. And I'm telling you, people will hype that dog up, hype the yard up, hype their name up. That's why, just like I'm Pitbull City, but I got to be careful what Pitbull City is involved with and who he's involved with, because you got guys that's involved in a lot of crooked things, and I don't want to be involved with them. Period. So when they say, "Well, I don't want nothing from Pitbull City," hey, you ain't made me cry yet. You know, I got my own clientele, and I'm just fine the way it's going, and I enjoy what I do. So, hey, if you want to jump into just doing whatever to get some dogs off, you're going to be doing that for a long time. And guess what? You're not going to be successful because you got thousands upon thousands of people that are doing the same thing. The thing in these dogs now is longevity. You got Thompson that been doing this over 12 years. You got Brown that been doing it over 12 years. You got myself that been doing it over 12 years. We got longevity. And we not taking wood nickels just to get by. Even though dog food done got high, we know that all this other stuff done got high. We keeping our standards high. And we're trying to help somebody along the way. But if you want to do it your way, hey, do it. If you can last and you can make it like that, we'll see if that just be for a couple years and you be out, or if you're going to have some longevity with it. I'm done.
Well, you gonna have an expiration date real quick. You gonna have an expiration date real quick. I'm gonna tell you that shit now. The way these people is cracking down on these dogs and the ammunition that a group of individuals in the community give out, it could turn back and really hurt you, bro. It hurts everybody. It hurts everybody. I done seen motherfuckers get so scared they start deleting dogs out their pedigree because some of these dogs' names got so hot. That's how bad it is. You know what I mean? It's the reality of the situation. And like Mr. Fred said, your circle, the people you dealing with, gotta really evaluate the circle of people that you're dealing with in these dogs. I told y'all before, a lot of y'all young brothers get into these dogs and y'all immediately get into the wrong group of motherfuckers. And if they don't give a fuck about themselves, what makes you think they're gonna give a fuck about you? They don't care about their own freedom. Freedom seems like something that's not important until somebody take that shit away from you. And then you know how valuable your freedom really is. And freedom ain't free.
Hey, yo, it's so serious, right? Like they won't even farm you a dog. They said they'll sell you the dog and then tell you to come back and breed to them. That's how serious it is. Like, yo, you know what I'm Hey man, put your hat on, man. Put your thinking caps on, man.
Boy, I tell y'all now, for the young bulls, man, that for that question there, shit you shouldn't and should ask a breeder. Don't ever get on the phone with a breeder and start talking anything illegal. For the young bulls up there in that question, because like I said, I had another dog man bring this up. Now, questions you should ask. Questions that actually are legit questions. The health of the dogs, the bloodlines, the thought process, and what you was trying to do when you did that breeding. What traits do these dogs possess? Those are legit questions to ask a breeder if you're inquiring about their dogs. Of course, the price. All of these things are solid questions. You know what I mean? You are dealing with human beings. Everybody's different. I'm not as friendly as Mr. Fred is. Brown is probably not as friendly as Mr. Fred is. I'm a strict I told y'all, people who I deal with or introduce to my circle are like-minded individuals, people that are living similar lifestyles to what I'm living right now at the age of 37. I'm looking for people who have families, business, shit that they care about, that means something to them, that they value, and they will do anything not to lose that. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself. Don't If you ain't a cowboy, don't be out there trying to run with the cowboys in the desert. You're not a cowboy. There was a time I was a cowboy. I got kids in the family now, so shit's different. I'm not in that zone, so I don't keep cowboy motherfuckers around me anymore.
That makes sense. Makes
Be
sense.
birds of a feather flock together. You know what I mean? That
That,
old saying means a whole lot in these dogs.
that makes sense.
And
Makes a lot of sense.
that I hope that information helped y'all young brothers, because a lot of y'all get shot down trying to get dogs, because there's a lot of y'all who are good, but y'all just don't know how to conduct business. But I hope this conversation enlighten a lot of you guys. You are dealing with human people, human beings. Some of us have families, some of us has children. Selling a puppy is not, nobody's risking their freedom to sell a fucking puppy. As Brown said about 4 times on his live, he'll keep that motherfucking dog first. He'll keep him first. And that's the environment that these dogs are in 2023. We have a lot of popular podcasts. We got a lot of popular stuff going on the internet. But with that popularity, everybody who's watching this shit ain't dog people. The feds is watching. The police is watching. There's a lot of people watching this shit. So the door is wide open, especially when you're trying to conduct business. Young brothers, we talked about it 2 lives ago. Having people come to your house that you don't know. This conversation on this live here, talking on the phone with people you don't know. Don't allow shit to happen to you. I know it's a lot of good brothers and y'all mixing up. If you ain't a cowboy, get the fuck out the rodeo. If you're just a person who's a dog enthusiast and you love to breed, be that person. But don't try to do too much in 2023, because it's hot. And I mean, it's hot. It ain't even it's hot
You know,
in these
Thompson,
dogs.
I want to put this out there in the atmosphere because, I started off with certain kind of dogs on my yard, and I've seen it graduate to different kind of dogs. And, whenever a person, like you was saying, what kind of questions do you supposed to ask and don't ask? Well, one question, a lot of times people don't look at it. When I was young, I say 15, 16, and I just got my license at 16, and daddy was getting the car for me and stuff. And, I'm looking at the shiny car and stuff like that, looking at the rims that's on the car, looking at the inside interior, turning on the radio, see if I got some little bit of boom boom in the back, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for, you know what I'm saying? That's how these young guys is talking about the dogs now, you know what I'm saying? They looking on the outer appearance, but they ain't looking under the hood. And like Mr. Ram say, they don't know what kind of pipes up under the bottom of the car. Ah, hey, they ain't looking up under the car to see what's really on the inside. When I say that, you know, I did a breeding with Pitchfork and a dog I had, name was Negan. And I'm telling you, it was a great breeding, man. And I had one female. I had two females. One was a big female. She looked like she probably going to be 38, or in her early 40s or something like that. And the other female was a little tiny little thing. She might be in her late 20s or something like that. But she had all the heart in the world, and she was structured nice, all that, and little fiery little dog, you know. But you know, the guy had paid for the dog and all, and he had got the dog home. And he was liking the dog until he looked in the dog mouth and found out she had a underbite. Now, the reason he got this dog because she was the last one that I had, and I told him that I could keep the female and run it back to the dad. So it really didn't matter to me, you know what I mean? Because I was on a hold on to it for a little while. Where he said, "Well, I want to get the dog. I want to get the dog." So he got the dog and found out she had an underbite. But I said, "Man, right now that underbite ain't stopping her from doing nothing." You know what I mean? But you know, things like simple things like looking in the dog mouth when you buy a dog. You know, start just looking at the simple things, man, and quit worrying about all this other stuff that you think is important. Because if the dog ain't just got the basics uh, things that a dog should have,
It will come.
you way out there trying to figure out what the mom and daddy did and all this and that, and you got to worry about what this
I
dog
would,
bringing to the table. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Hey, you still there?
Yo,
them young boys ain't
Go
got
ahead,
no
bro.
patience, man. You know what I mean? Since I've been in these dogs, I remember people wanted. I remember them people wanted dogs to be. I remember a dog is what 7 years is a 1 year is 7 years for a dog. So at one the dog is 7. At 2, 14, 3, 21. I just see people have so much heavy expectations on a puppy. Let a puppy be a puppy. Like Mr. Fred said, man, check the mouth, check the feet, check the eyes, make sure they're not deaf. You know, these are all things that a good breeder, you gotta, pay attention to. And when you acquire the dog, look for the simple things. Go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's Fred. That's Fred. Go ahead, Fred.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead, bro.
Shit on. What can I say? Most of these guys get these dogs, get a puppy, like you said. They expect so much from this puppy. You know what I mean? Not only that, a lot of people get caught up in the sales pitch that these guys are giving them. You know what I mean? So you spend that money on that dog, that puppy, you know, and turn around, you got to wait for this puppy to grow up. So in the meantime, you got to think, you don't let 2 years go by. You know, half of the time you can't get back in contact with that breeder. You know what I mean? Because he probably already know what he done
Hmm.
sold. You know, you got to be careful even down to when you trying to inquire a dog what you're looking for. What you're letting this person know what you're looking for. You know, like Fred said, he wanted a dog for this, and come to find out the dog had an underbite. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're looking for. You can't blame the breeder for it at the end of the day because you wanted
Hmm.
you wanted this, or you wanted the blood. In other
What
words, you know what I
what?
mean?
Yeah, 100%. But you know where she had the underbite, she made up for everything else. So that was the last thing he was looking at. You know what I'm saying? And like I told him, I ain't never looking at her mouth because I was looking at all the other pluses she was bringing to the table. She had so many pluses, it was ridiculous.
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
she could.
Hey, Fred, talking to your phone.
Okay,
Talking to your phone a little bit,
I'm
Fred.
sorry. I said she had so many pluses, it was ridiculous. I could open her kennel up, she would jump out, and I said, "Get back up there," and she would jump back in as a puppy. As a puppy,
Hmm.
that's how intelligent that dog was already. And like he said, he took it to the motel and stuff. When he got it from me, the dog laid down like she lived in the house. But you know, just me working with her from the time she was a little puppy until then, and he didn't even realize it. Like I told him, I didn't realize it neither. But you know, I was on using for for breeding purposes because I really didn't have a lot of the blood that she was bringing to the table. I only had two females like that, and he had got the last one. But now it's only one of them out here like that. And a lot of times I don't like to repeat breedings. I'm like Thompson. If I do a breeding, I'm doing it because I want it. So,
Yeah, man.
I'm
That's the
not going
best.
to
That's
sit
the
there.
best way to go about it.
I'm not going to keep on sitting there repeating a breeding unless it was something that I wanted, something that I was looking for, something. Say, like if I got all females on the first breeding, I'm going to do that breeding again to get my males out of there. So
Right, right,
if it
right,
ain't a
right.
necessity, I'm not trying to do it again.
I just look at it
Mm.
like that's why I say it all depends on it's quality, man. It's really quality, yo.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
I'm against this, man.
yeah, it's quality, yo. It's like, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? That's my quote. Can you really handle a dog? You know, you don't know what you're getting. You know what I mean? You might get something, high intense,
This is
and you got this high. It's high intense, but you want to baby it and keep it in the house. No, bro, you can't do that.
Wow. And
You
then
know what I mean?
they tore up your house, tore up your
I,
legs on your chairs and all
I
that
done had
stuff.
one try to chew through a wall, bro. You know what I mean? How intense it was. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, it's like, then you get, like I said,
I know what you talking about. Look, somebody hit that shit with a shotgun.
real, yeah, I mean, it's like, and then, this is what you asking for when you want, how they say, an, well, an American pit bull terrier, or a game bred dog. That's why I say, I mean, it's and they even go back to what you want to pay for something like this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you don't know what
that's
you
real.
want. You know what I mean? You don't you asking for something which you might get, because that's how I am. You know what I mean? Don't ask for something because you might get what you asking for. You know what I mean? And two, is it worth my time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it worth me even saying, yo, well, I'm gonna let this guy get this dog because you know he really I I can understand he might be a greenhorn, how they call him. You know what I mean? But here is a guy that's gonna actually take care of a dog. Cause me as a breeder, I want to see the dog grow up. You know what I mean? I want to see what my work turn out.
Man.
You know what I mean? I like the compliment, like for it to be a good dog. You know
Oh,
what I mean? For it to be, controllable. For to look at the confirmation of this dog. Look the work ethics. You know what I mean?
I want to piggyback on something you just brought up. I want to
Yeah,
piggyback on
yeah,
something you just brought up. This is for the young bulls too. This is for the young bulls too. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this one for free. Y'all need to like, share, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up button, and get that rocking too. But I'm gonna give you this one for free. Murray just came up with that whole little cook up with the dealing with the greenhorns. Those greenhorns are real good to deal with. If you find some good young brothers, they're really good to deal with because they value what they're receiving. Because They wanted it. They was looking for it. The flip side of it is dealing with people who already got dogs. And this is for the greenhorns who may just be starting their little thing up and they decided, hey, I'm gonna let these two pups go to the public and stuff. Realize this. If you dealing with somebody that already got dogs and you sell them one of your dogs, best believe they're not gonna hold their dogs to the standard of your dog. They'll let all kind of shit slide with their dogs, but best believe that puppy you gave them better be the best fucking thing on planet Earth. They're going to be 10 times harder on your dog than they are their own dogs. And realize that shit when you dealing with certain people that you delivering dogs to. You put a dog in a dog man hands, best believe he's going to be way harder and hold your dog to a whole higher fucking criteria than the other little 10, 15 dogs he been feeding for 5 years. Always remember that. When you place something in certain people's hands, Brown alluded to, there's certain people who don't know what they want and there's certain people who know what they want. But at the same time, just know you dealing with these dudes who got dogs already, your dog better be the truth. Because they'll sit there and feed 5 shit eaters. But at the same time, your puppy better be a grand champion at 7 months. Like, you know what I mean? Just know that in your head. This shit is real.
I mean,
and I've seen that shit a million times. People will have people will have dogs that ain't they're not even what they are asking for of your dog. So you telling me you feeding 15, 20 and none of them possess the traits that you are expecting to get. You get what I'm saying? This is something that plays out a lot of times in these dogs, man. A lot of people will not give certain dogs a chance. So know that in the back of your head when you start handing shit out. Go ahead, Brown.
Like I said, it's the truth. Like, people will hold your dogs to a certain standpoint because of what you put out there. You know what I mean? Of for what you're for what you and whoever you around putting out there. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they always look at y'all as a team, as a unit. You know what I mean? Regardless of the fact. You know what I mean? Because like all of us, for instance, we all have the same type, we use the same type of dogs, but we all put our own season to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
Thompson do
Yes, sir.
yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, so if Thompson do something, oh, Pitbull City does. I mean, Pitbull City, I mean, if they say Thompson shit don't work, Pitbull City shit don't work. Brown shit don't work. You know what I mean? But you gotta
Mm-hmm.
look at everybody that says they're a breeder ain't actually a breeder. Like, we could go back in the conversation when we were saying, you just get 2 dogs and you sticking them shits together. We could go back to where I alluded to, you breeding out the original characteristics of the dogs. You know what I mean? Even if you had a good dog and you breeding this and you done bred this dog 2-3 generations, you done bred out what you need to keep in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way, like what you were saying a couple of podcasts back, that they a lot of times they don't realize the power of the one dog. You know,
Mm.
Brown talks about the power of the one dog all the time. And that one dog will change your whole yard. And
Yo,
and that
one
one dog,
dog,
you
can
can't
make your
take that one
yard.
dog away. It can change your whole yard. So you got to know where you messed up at.
Right, right. One dog will make your yard. You know what I mean? Like
But
you
one
said,
dog
one
can
dog will
break
break your yard.
one
break
dog
your
can break
yard.
your yard. It can
That's why
do.
you gotta
Don't be
look at.
quick to be breeding.
Yeah,
One
but
Don't be
one
quick
dog
to
can make
breed
it and
shit
one
off of
can break.
papers. Don't be quick to breed all kinds of crazy shit. I know a lot of people be the crosses this and the crosses that. Yeah, we have proven crosses in this community in these dogs. All types of crosses have been proven to work. But you just can't run with that and think, oh, I'm just using for example, I'm gonna get any old type of red boy Jocko dog and it's gonna work with this dog here. That's not how that shit works. They say a proven cross, but them dogs were proven within themselves. They stood as individuals on their own four legs. You don't get into that recipe thinking that you can the blood individuals matter in this. And when you allow a lot of things to surpass in the dog and you pair it, like Brown alluded to, you can get a lot of fucked up shit. Just like Fred said, you got to acknowledge that. You got to know when you did something that was incorrect. And I remember Fred said a couple of lives ago, if something ain't working, he ain't never doing that shit again. He ain't touching it no more. You got to acknowledge when the ball fell off. You got to be paying attention to your dogs because you could lose characteristics like Brown said in one damn breeding. You can lose everything that you enjoyed in them dogs and it could just disappear like a fart in the wind. It's the most amazing thing and the great thing. Just like you could do one breeding and enhance your yard 3-4 levels, like god damn. It works the same way. It comes around like a Gatling gun in this stuff. If you're talking about genetics and breeding dogs and seeing traits and tendencies, that's why I preach patience with dogs, especially young puppies. All you really want is a healthy puppy that's alert, active, and healthy. That they're like children. I see people put weights on these guys. I mean, it's a little fucking puppy. Let them be stupid and act silly. You know what I mean? They puppies. Pet them and play with them. That's the time that you bond and learn certain things about your dog, man. I mean, when did all of this scratching puppies and shit become the new thing? And
hey, it's see, that's the thing, yo. Like, it's rules to this shit. You know what I mean? It's rules to it. No matter what, it's rules to it. Let me tell you, I don't like to call niggas green. I don't like to call people green. Huh? You know what I mean? But it's rules to it. You know what I mean? Because you get a puppy, you learn that dog. You learn that dog, yo. Most people don't learn a dog. Somebody could buy a $5,000 grown dog and don't know that dog. You know what I mean? And wonder why this dog is the way it is. That dog don't know you. You know what I mean? That dog don't know your commands. Your whole vibe is different. You feel me?
It's, man, the conversation gets so deep, bro. Conversation could get real damn deep. Because a lot of people don't know, man, them young puppies, man, that's the time. That's the most important time is when they're young. That's some of the most critical time. And I see a lot of young brothers, y'all squander that time because y'all just sitting there waiting to see something instead of taking the dog and going out there and achieving something. There's two ways you can approach that stuff. That's why I don't like to do a bunch of breedings, because raising puppies, that's a lot of hands-on time that you need to be putting with them dogs at that age. And when you have too much shit going on, like Brown alluded to, you really don't know who they are. So don't approach the shit like I'm waiting to see something. Like you gonna just lock the puppy up and just wait till the dog's supposed to be some type of fucking all-star or some shit, man? You got to put that work in with them dogs. A breeder is only providing you a good foundation. Here's the building blocks to achieve something. This is a sound foundation. That's what you should be searching for if you're trying to do something in the first place. Something that comes from a group of dogs that bring the same type of traits and characteristics to the table. You should be searching for family trees. That ups the percentage and the numbers of you getting something good if it's coming from a family tree of dogs that's doing something good. This can go down into a numbers game depending on how you want to play it. But these are the vital things that a lot of people, and I see a lot of young bulls doing that with these young dogs. They just sitting there looking, waiting to see something. Take that dog for a walk. Introduce that dog to the tools of the trade. Get them on the flirt pole. Get them acclimated with the slap mill. Get them acclimated with what you call it, just rub downs and petting and walking and hand walking. You know, shit is a critical time in the dog's life. Is that little gap before when they're pups to that adolescent phase. And a lot of the times, the most critical information you learn about that dog is in that time span. Because I'd be surprised when people say they had dogs 3-4 years and they didn't know that. Nah, bro, that means you just had that dog out there. I know them dogs. From that little gap, I know a lot about their personality, and that shit is important, especially if you selecting dogs to try to breed.
Yeah, that's very, very important. I mean, it's so important. A lot of us don't understand that. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't understand, that when you breed something, it's not where it's at first. It's where it's at when it bonded with you. Everything don't move at the same pace. You know what I mean? But when you get a bond with a hound, like they say is man's best friend, that's unbreakable. You know what I mean? It's really unbreakable. You know this dog.
Boy.
You know what this dog like. You know what it want. You know what I mean? You know this.
A lot of times
that's when it come. Yeah, that's when it come into even down to training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You train a dog like that.
A lot of times.
But I ain't trying to, take y'all all the way out there, man.
A lot of times, and little puppies, they'll show it to you. Because you're going to have some of them more advanced than others. Then you're going to have some of them that's falling behind. And the ones that are falling behind, you might have to spend a little bit extra time with.
Yeah, man. But trying to figure out good dogs, trying to figure out if you got a good dog at 7 and 8, 9 months, in 6 months, that ain't the way you want to approach it, man. Because I'm telling you now, I got a lot of dogs, and I bred dogs over the years, and I've seen a lot of dogs come up, and they are very similar to people. They change. I've seen dogs go from happy-go-lucky, goofy to dead fucking serious. They change. You don't know when they change sometimes, but a lot of them, they mature like people. Some of them take the slow road. They'll take that 2.5 years, but when they grown, and you can see it. And if you know your dogs, because it's been situations where I came outside with certain dogs and they just had a whole different look in their eye. A whole different look. Like, what happened to you overnight? Some of the dogs click like that. You can't hold every dog to the same standard, or you're just going to be going through a whole lot of dogs, because there's a whole lot of different personalities within a litter of puppies. You search and strive for consistency. That consistency just ain't attitude. It's the health, the physique, the conformation, all of these things we discussed. Attitude is something that you can bank on when it's appropriate time to assess attitude. 2.5, 3 years old, that's full-grown dog at 3 years old. Full-grown dog at 3. That's what it is. That little yearling phase, those are phases the dogs go through. We all like the dogs that come out dead serious from Jump Street, but did the whole litter come out like that? No. That one dog may come out like that, but he may not be the best one off the litter. You know, judging personalities on very young dogs is a dangerous game. It really is.
Yo,
It's a
I
very, very
mean,
dangerous game.
yo, you know what too, yo? That's when, you know, a lot of people have their hopes up high. You know what I mean? A lot of people want that title of number one. I breed the best goddamn dogs ever. You know what I mean? But you feel me, yo? Like, and at the end of the day, right? It's kind of crazy because, like you were saying earlier, Thompson. Like you go outside, you come outside, and you looking at this dog. It got a whole different look in his eye. But yo, that's how can I put it? It's crazy because you have to literally know what you're breeding. You feel me? You have to know the parents, and even down to the way the parents are, because the apples never fall far from the damn tree. You feel it never fall far
Yeah.
from the tree. You know, for instance, Bodacious. Now, I'm in third generation with Bodacious, and no lie, it's still the same. You know what I mean? But worse. It gets darker. You know what I mean? It gets darker, bro. Like the same look she had in her eyes, the same way she wasn't no dog that I'm going to just run a mill, or I'm gonna work for you. But what you put the what Fred put together was an animal. You know what I mean? And the way Fred was with her, you know what I mean, is the way she acts. She's a calm, how can I say it, calm in a sense, house dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember
But
Bodacious when I seen that at Fred house. Shout out to Bodacious, man, because that's Cookie Mama for the chat, man. Everybody who know that cookie dog I got, that's Bodacious mom. Bodacious is her mother, man. Fred did a hell of a breeding
Yeah,
with that
well,
stuff there, man. I like
yeah.
that.
A lot of people don't know that the showgirl to Manny was the first breeding that I did. Uh, that's the first breeding that ever was done with Manny. That was the first one.
The first one,
That
Manny the
was Manny's
Showgirl.
first breeding that he ever did was
and yo,
with a
I can
showgirl.
honestly say it was an honor. You know what I mean? An honor to own such a specimen. You
And
feel
Mm.
me?
I'm
Cause,
I,
cause,
I, I'm still at awe with some of those. Just like you're talking about when you did the breeding with Black Knight and gave me one back, man. I'm still amazed right now of the what I call it, the consistency, because I knew Bodacious mama was Showgirl, Showgirl's mother was uh, Juice, and I didn't get to see uh, Showgirl's dad, Patterson's Bronx, but man, that just was a amazing type of Eli dogs. And to my understanding, the Midnight Cowboy to the Boyles was one of the best breedings that they could do with the Boyles dogs. So, you know, you had the Six Bits, you had the Clemens dogs, you had the Cardenius dogs, you had the uh, Score Maverick stuff sitting there. You had some different
She
crosses.
had everything in her.
Yeah,
She
she
had
she
like,
she had a lot of
boy,
stuff
she was
in her,
bred.
man.
A
A lot of
lot of
stuff.
strands of Eli. A
But
lot of strands.
all of it linked up, man. It was so I mean, it just complemented the boys' dogs, and so it, still to this day, is a great tool to use to get certain. And those dogs not really dogs that uh, well, the ones I got now, they more hyper now than they ever been. But I think that's through uh, breeding programs and stuff. But it's more intense now. But you can still see the old dogs uh, from way back still in them, and that's what I'm so amazed at. Because a lot of times you lose what you had, and to see the consistency of getting a better dog is always uh, rewarding to me. I enjoy that.
Man, that was an alley oop to you, boy. Man, shit. Like I said, Cookie. I didn't breed Cookie a lot. I think I bred Cookie maybe one, 3 times, and she's probably about going on 8 years old. And no, she's 8 now. I think she's going on 9. That dog old. But I only bred her 3 times, but you can tell the dogs that she has an influence on the yard. You know what I mean? That stuff, like you said, that carries on generation after generation after generation. Like it's in there, and it's consistent. I do give it that, man. That was a hell of a breed, and I tip my hat to you. Shout
Well,
out Eli
thank you,
Zachary in the chat, man. What's going on, brother Eli?
brother Eli.
Oh yeah, I
Salute to you.
appreciate you. I
Salute,
appreciate
big
everybody in
dog.
the chat who been keeping it lit. Yeah, Eli Zachary, first
Yes,
brother I
sir.
heard, first brother that cooked up on that what you call that hybrid vigor. I seen a lot of people still man swag, and I watched a lot of the videos, but he was one of the first ones. And I was thinking like to myself, like, man, damn, that's the perfect phrasing for that whole thing is crossing dogs and trying to get the enhancements with the blood blends and stuff. I mean, it's real hard to do this and try to keep consistency for generations and have consistent family trees of dogs. It's a very difficult thing to do. And I always tip my hat to something that I seen a lot of work was put into, and it went on to prosper, man. So I always give Fred his flowers on this shit, man, because you put some stuff together that I'm still running, what, 12, 13 years, 14 years later, man. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
yeah.
still got crushed blood out here and shit. You know what I mean?
And then
Like, that stuff is still
shout out
floating around, man.
shout out to the guy that I got it from. And I tell you, and he's so convinced about it. He never left out of it neither. So hey, we got a whole lot of
Man,
stuff. And just hey, we keep it now. It's just like
hey,
any
man,
other
it's locked in.
line of dogs. If you find a line of dogs that keep making the same type of dogs, and they are good dogs for you, you want to stay. I mean, you can always get dogs that are mediocre dogs and dogs that they just all right. But when you get a dog and you getting your structure, you getting good teeth, you getting um, not a lot of health problems and a lot of skin problems, and I mean you see all kinds of uh, weaknesses, in dogs. Sometimes, especially if you try to breed it too tight, you'll start seeing the line get weaker and weaker. But if you putting it with dogs that it belongs with, you'll see the opposite. You'll see them get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, a lot of y'all don't try and reinvent the wheel. You know, I know the message it gets is it sounds different coming from different groups of people, but at the end of the day, none of us really tried to reinvent the wheel. And that's the kind of way that's the way you want to approach it. If you're trying to reinvent the wheel, that means you're kind of doing something different than what this really is. Because just trying to get consistent dogs, that's something that takes a lot of hard work, man. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes years of your life, thousands of hours of your time. I had Ram up here one day, and I was just like, man, how much time do you think you just getting conditioning dogs and to do stuff? And I hope this live was hitting for the young bulls. Be patient, because we do this for the young bulls. I try to give out the information. I know I got my brothers on here. They busy as hell. They make time out of it to come on here and give y'all. And I appreciate y'all for it, because I know I'm shit tired and they tired, but we're trying to give this information out for the young bulls. I hope y'all heed to this stuff, man, with this patience.
Hey, Thompson, we made that 2 hours.
Man,
we ain't think we was gonna make it.
hey man, I'm and people, for people who don't know, I wake up 5:30 in the morning, and I average getting home around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And that's like on the right. And I'm not even super busy yet. I'm just trying to get caught up with all of the other stuff. And then, you know, it's a lot to do this. I have a great appreciation for content creators, Fred. People who can consistently put out content and have time and make time to do it. Because this is damn near, even though we do the show every other week, it's like it still creeps up on me. You know what I mean? I'll be on the roof doing some shit, and I'll be like, God damn, it's Thursday already. Shit. Blah, blah, blah. I got to go ahead and rearrange my moves to try to make shit happen. But I want to thank Brown and you for making time, man. And I hope our young brothers, because I don't ask y'all for nothing, shoot the thumbs up and show your appreciation for the brothers coming through. We do this for the young ones that I don't get to have those conversations with, like I said earlier in this live. You know, I'm not a person that I can always talk on the phone. So I try to get this time just to give out information that I should have heard when I was coming into this shit, and I'd have probably been a little bit ahead of where I should have been. But, you know, God make everything happen for a reason. Lessons had to be learned. But I hope this information helps y'all, man. Put time in with your dogs.
Amen. I got one thing I want to leave with the young bulls. When you building your brand or building your yard or getting into these dogs, I want to ask you to do one thing. Base your yard off of truth, not a bunch of lies. Don't be calling people with a bunch of lies, and don't be doing the lie thing, because lies will get you in a bad mind space. Because sometimes when you lie, you got to remember who you lied to and what you're lying about. So if you tell the truth, it'll be easier to talk to folk, easier to be a good man, an upright man, and standing on your square. You know, just like these dogs. You see Pitbull City dogs, they standing on their square because they come from here. And I was an upright man standing straight and tall and want to be like that. And Thompson, I appreciate you and Brown both, because both of y'all upstanding guys, man. And I don't mind dealing with y'all, and I enjoy dealing with y'all with the dogs in our personal lives, man, because on both ways, with the dogs in personal lives, y'all deal with me straight up, 100, not a bunch of lies. And I want these young guys, don't start all with a bunch of lying for no reason. Don't do it, man. It ain't even worth it. That's all I want to do.
And that's gospel, man. Yeah, forever giving y'all the gospel, man. 'Cause I want to see y'all be successful. I want to see y'all prosper. The ones who really enjoy these dogs, because y'all the ones who gonna keep this shit going. Fred getting older, I'm getting older, Brown getting older. You know what I mean? You think you're young, but nah, man. I got gray hair. Got gray hair shit coming in, man. You know, it's different. Shit hitting different. You know what I mean? It'd be a time I could be up and get 4 hours of sleep and be able to function. You know, I'm getting older. So the young bulls are important in this. And I just want to give this information out for y'all boys to be safe and understand that, you know, real life is real life and the internet is the internet. And you got to be able to separate the two for you guys to be successful, because it's getting harder and harder and harder to keep these dogs. They're making it harder and harder and harder for you to maintain these dogs. Every year, it's some more shit. Every year, it gets worse and harder. And I don't want to see them dogs disappear. I want to see y'all brothers prosper. The next generation of brothers that come into these dogs, I want to see y'all prosper. But every generation, things change dramatically. And y'all got it real hard because social media, the old timers, Fred generation, I don't mean call you old Fred, but Fred generation, they didn't have social media. The closest thing was Peds Online. And that was just typing and stuff. You know what I mean? Now, with all the different social media platforms and how comfortable people get doing certain things and showing certain things, they make it hard because now they have what the people who want to destroy these dogs and abolish these dogs, they don't even have to work for the information anymore. Y'all just provide it. So when they come up with all this shit, that's why we say, be somewhat of a private person. You can show your dogs and all that, man, but always try to show your dogs in a positive light. Show that you love them, you take care of them, you feed them. Everybody ain't out here with the fuckery. We got to stand up for the breed because they making it hard for y'all, man. They making it real hard for y'all.
Man,
Brown, you got anything you want to say?
Listen.
Oh, go ahead, Fred.
I said that's a good cook up. If they didn't hear what you said just then, boy, they need to put the ears on, because you was talking about me, being an old cat, but the Peds Online was still an upgrade for me, because like when I got into the dogs, we had what they call the ad pack. It was like a little newspaper that went out every Wednesday, and you could go to the place and pay them like $12 to put a couple sentences in on the ad pack of what kind of dogs you had for sale and what the prices was, and you could put your phone number in there, and people would hit you up. That's how, and they would call you on the not on the cell phone, but your home phone. We had home phones back then. We ain't even had the cell phone yet. We still had
I ain't that.
hey, we
I ain't
still
that
had
young, Fred. I remember
we
the
still
answer.
had
I remember the answering machines and shit.
hey,
Like if you
we
wasn't
still
home,
had
you
the
had a phone
pager,
and the
baby.
answering machine.
We still had the
You know how
pager.
many? You know how many days I was running home to delete that answering machine message from the teacher? I was hauling ass to the house to get
Hey,
home and I get to that damn answering machine and you delete.
hey,
One time my dumb ass flipped the shit over and it was the old recording that my mom's did. And one time the phone rang and then the tape played and it was and she was like, that ain't the one that I left. And then she looked at me and she was like, you've been deleting the goddamn. I said, oh shit, here we go.
hey, now you catching on. That's what I'm saying. Hey, these guys now, that got all this stuff at their fingertips, boy, they got it going on. But the thing is, don't let your fingertips walk you into a big old mess, man.
Oh hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. I mean, I hope this information, Brown. You got anything you want to close out with, brother? Oh, hold on. He dropped out. I gotta get him back on.
Yeah, he
Hey,
did. He
Brown.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he back
sorry.
on.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
man. Cook up on what you want to cook up on, man. We close it out. We get ready to close out the show and shit, man.
Man, just take care of your house, man. Yo, just keep it 100. You know, you don't got to be like nobody else. Do you? You know what I mean? Just do you. Do your
Right.
homework. You know what I mean? Do your homework, man.
Well, salute.
That's what
Hey,
wise
man,
words.
I appreciate y'all.
No doubt. Appreciate you,
Hey,
bro.
appreciate the chat. Appreciate all y'all fellas and stuff, and the ladies.
Hey, man. Hey man, shit. We're gonna close out on that. Fred, how could the people reach you? You still doing the hot boxes, right?
Yeah, I still do them, but they are $650. And like what you were saying about the prices on the dogs. Don't try to talk me down on the prices on the brood box, because they've been trying to do that too, and I can't see no way to I can't see nobody to get no $300 or $400 brood box. Hey, don't even ask me. I mean, if you looking for $300 or $400 brood box, go ahead and build you one, bro. I mean, don't call me.
Fred throwing punches on the way out the door. He said, "Don't try to
got
talk me down on the hot boxes."
Don't even try it, man. I don't even want to hear it.
First, everybody's a
look,
hustler.
Hey, Thompson. Hey, I'm talking about my time spent too. Y'all got to pay me for my labor.
Oh shit!
$650.
A man's price. A man's price is a man's price. If you can't afford it, the worst thing you could do is hassle a motherfucker.
If they can
the worst thing y'all could do is hassle somebody down off their price. If y'all can get the message in this damn live, like I said, I don't care what y'all sell y'all dogs for.
They might
Boy,
build
your price is your price.
But who gonna build it for $400? And hey, you ain't gonna pay them no labor. That's $150. So we up this. We're gonna get up to $650 for that. That's what we're gonna do.
The wood high, man. The wood cost.
That ain't even high, man. Shit. I mean, I built one when COVID was going on, bro. And bro, what I paid for wood to build one, it was like, God damn.
You better not put no tin roof on it. You better not put no chain link fence on it. You better not go get the hardware to go to it. Man, come on now.
Man. Damn, boy, I walked out of there feeling crazy.
Don't forget the nails and stuff.
Man. A damn box of screws is $70. Remember them big buckets of screws you used to get back in the day for $29.99 and stuff? It was one $60, $70 for that shit.
No days over with.
Man, Brown, and Fred could be reached at Fred Davis on Facebook if y'all want to hit him up. Brown, what's your social media platform so the people can reach you if they want to get in contact with you?
Yo, you can reach me out on Instagram, Brown Kennels. Check me out on YouTube occasionally. And that's that Sosa on Facebook. Sosa Brown.
Hey, that's how y'all reach the men. Y'all young brothers need to reach out. Y'all, that's how y'all can contact them. Y'all know me. I'm only on YouTube. I don't have any other social media platforms. YouTube is enough for me. And I could be reached at the Thompson'S Kennels at gmail.com. I'm gonna post up all three of our info in case we need to be reached and stuff. But y'all have a blessed one. Y'all have a blessed one. Take care of your animals. Don't do nothing stupid, nothing illegal. Nothing that was discussed in this live was for any illegal purposes, for any dogs. No dogs are bred, sold, trained, raised for any illegal purposes whatsoever. If you didn't get the message throughout this whole goddamn live, there it goes with the disclaimer. Everybody, y'all have a blessed one. We
Take care, yo. Take care.
Take care.
Yeah, we got a good one.